guys! Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to get your first job as a teenager, your first real job where you're working for a company, since everybody is going to be on summer break pretty soon. I know I'm on summer break right now because I'm a college student, but I know some of you are still in school, especially high schoolers, and you guys are going to be out soon and you're looking to make some money this summer, so I'm just going to give you guys a few tips on how to do so. So I wrote a few things down of how I've gotten jobs in the past. So I've had 3 jobs so far, and I'm 19 right now. So my first job was at a place called Gyroville. You guys can look all these places up. There's a bunch of locations, and it was like a Greek type place. So I made chicken pitas, like gyro pitas, Gyroville, Euroville, some people call it Euroville. But yeah, it was a food place. So I would clean up, I would prep, I would do kitchen work, I would close, like mopping, sweeping, all that stuff. And then my second job was at Smashburger, and I actually worked at Gyroville and Smashburger at the same time over one summer because I was looking to make like a lot of money. And Smashburger, I'm sure most of you guys have heard of Smashburger. It's like a burger place where they like smash their burger, blah blah. There I did dishes, cash, I served, and I cleaned up. But I didn't do like food prep or anything. And my most recent job that I had in college was working at Wyche's at UCF back in Orlando. So I worked at the Wyche's right across from the University of Central Florida, and I worked there for a few months, and now I'm back home. When I first started looking for my first job, I thought it was so hard, and it took like a few months for me to get it. I was like, oh, like I'm never gonna get a job, I don't know how to do this, why is it taking so long? But it's a process, honestly, and there's a few things you have to do if you want to get a job quickly and if you want to get a good job. So the first thing that I would say to do is to build a resume. I'll leave a sample resume in the description box for you guys on what to include. I'll just like list everything out on what you can include. But pretty much you're just going to want to put your name on there, your address, your phone number, your email, so they have a way to contact you. Prior job experience, if you don't have any job experience, that's fine. Say you babysat or you baked a cake for your cousin's birthday, like you can put all your skill sets kind of down, which is what I did. If you're efficient with Microsoft Word and stuff like that, you can put that down, like I know how to use a Mac, I know how to use Microsoft Word, I know how to use Excel, I know how to do this, blah blah blah. If you haven't had a job in the past, if you have had a job in the past, you're going to want to include your prior experience as well as all your skills along with your experience, because it just makes for a better resume. So I'll definitely show you guys what my resume looks like. My dad helped me put it together. If you need help, you can just comment down below and I can help you guys out with it because I think mine's pretty good. What I would do, I would print, this is actually something that my dad helped me do. This is how I got my first job. He was like, come on Kaela, we're gonna go on a car ride, print out a few resumes, and we're gonna go and apply. And personally, I think you get the jobs quicker, and I think you just get jobs in general when you apply in person. For 2 of the jobs I've had at Gyroville and Wyche's, I've applied in person. And for Smashburger, I knew someone that worked there. So I think you're better off getting the job if you do apply in person. So what I would say to do is to print out your resume after you've completed it and go inside, fill out an application, and turn back in the application along with your resume. If the store doesn't do in-store applications, ask the manager or whoever's working if you can leave your resume there, because it just looks a lot more professional than like writing your name and email or your name and phone number down. If you have a resume to go along with it, you're probably more likely to get the job. The second thing I would say to do is to follow up. If you're applying in store, I would definitely also recommend to apply online, because that way they see your name both times and they see that you put an effort to come in and drop off your resume and stuff like that. So after you've dropped off your resume and everything, you're going to want to follow up on the places that you've applied to. And I usually wait a week to do this. So for Wyche's, I waited a week. For Gyroville, I waited a week. I turned in my application, and then a week later, I went on the website for the company and I emailed like the store location email saying, hi, I turned in an application about a week ago. I was just wondering if you all received it. I look forward to hearing back from you. I would really love to work for you guys. I really like the customer service that you guys provide to your customers, stuff like that. I would send it to the manager of the store or whatever email address was attached to the location that I applied to. And I heard back from them and I got a job. So I would definitely recommend following up with an email or a phone call. I don't really like talking to random people that I don't know on the phone, so I followed up both times with Gyroville and Wyche's with an email. For me, that was just easier. But if you like to talk on the phone, you can call the store number too and ask to speak to the manager to see if they got your application and just stuff like that. It kind of makes them take a second look at your application because they may have put it on their desk and forgot about it. So when you follow up, it makes them go back and look through it. Just lets them know that you came in and that your application is there in store if they need someone for hire. The third thing I would say about getting a job is the interview process. So after you follow up they're gonna call you in for an interview. At least that's what Gyroville and that's what Minchie's did. So with Gyroville, I went in for my interview and I was hired right after my interview. So he had the papers, like my bank account, so I can do direct deposit, the sizes for my uniforms and everything. For Minchie's, I was interviewed first, and then I had to come in for training. And then I had to come in to set up my bank information and show proof of ID and things like that. So for the interview, I would definitely say dress to impress. You don't want to go in wearing like a crop top, your hair looking messy and stuff. You want to look nice for your interview. You want to look presentable. You want to look professional. Even if it is just a food job like Minchie's or Smashburger or Gyroville or McDonald's, you still want to go in looking nice because it's just the professional thing to do when it comes to being interviewed. So I would say do your hair, maybe put on a little bit of makeup if you're a girl. Dress nicely. If you're a guy, put on like some casual slacks and like a dress shirt maybe. And if you're a girl, maybe wear like a nice casual midi, like loose dress and some flats or some slacks and like a button-up sweater with like a tank and some flats or something like that. When you go in, research the company first. This is something that my parents always told me to do. So you want to go online and learn a little bit about the company. When were they founded? What types of food do they serve? For Gyroville specifically, I had to learn a little bit about their menu when I was being interviewed. But for Minchie's, they didn't really ask me any questions in regards to Minchie's, and Smashburger wasn't really asking any questions, but you never know, so you always want to come prepared. I've gotten interviews, like I've had 3 jobs, but I've gotten interviews at multiple places because when I was working at Gyroville, I was also searching for other places to work. Like I told you guys, I worked at Smashburger and Gyroville at the same time. So I was kind of looking for other places that offered higher pay and better hours than what I was getting at Gyroville, so I could work 2 jobs. So I have been to an interview at Second Cup, which is a coffee place, Village Tavern, which is a restaurant, Cinemark, which is a movie theater, Smashburger, Minchie's, Gyroville, and quite a few. Like I've had interviews at a few places. So I would definitely say dress nice. When I did go to the Cinemark interview, they asked me, sorry, these people are like cutting grass outside. So annoying. They asked me really weird questions, like if you had to choose an animal to represent you, which animal would you choose? And I kind of messed up on that question because I said a koala, which like... So yeah, just be prepared. Know what answers you're going to say. I said a koala, and I said I chose that animal because I was kind of shy at the time, which that doesn't really go well with a job, so kind of just know what they're looking for. And you never know what questions they're going to ask you. I definitely say to do your research on the company you're being interviewed to work at. Another thing that I want to mention, when you do go to drop off your resume, make sure to ask for the manager. A lot of the times the manager isn't in store, but if they are, it's always nice to talk to them because you get to see them face to face and you kind of get to introduce yourself to them to see who they could possibly hire, which is always a good thing. And then when you email them, they're going to know who you are, they're going to know you by name, and they're going to know your face. So it's always best to speak with the manager if you can. A lot of the times the managers aren't there, at least for me when I would walk in to apply with the resume, they wouldn't be there. So I just give it to an employee to put my resume in the back and then email the manager later on to follow up. It's always good to ask to speak to the manager. Even if you only see a younger worker, maybe 18 or younger, or somebody like a teenager your age working in the front, the manager could be in the back doing work. So always make sure to ask. A few questions that you can ask for your interview. It's always good to go in with a few questions that you want to be able to ask the person that's interviewing you, because usually at the end they'll ask, do you have any questions? And if you're like, no, it kind of, I don't want to say that it looks bad, but it's always good to have a few questions. So usually I ask, what is your hourly rate of pay? How many hours? And how many hours will I be able to get a week? So depending on how many hours you're looking for, these are really important questions to ask, because if you're hired and you're only getting 2 hours a week, it's not really beneficial to you. So I'd always make sure to come in with a few questions. Other than that, I think you guys are good to go with how to get your first job as a teen. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, because I'm getting back on my YouTube stuff and I'm here to answer questions for all of you guys. So if you leave a comment, I'll definitely be responding. I'm trying to get back with everything YouTube, and I'm definitely going to be responding to you guys over the summer. I'm going to be making a lot more videos. I uploaded a sorority Q&A, so go check out my last video, because I did join a sorority at the University of Central Florida. I'm in Alpha Delta Pi. So if you guys have any questions about recruitment or being in a sorority or anything like that, go to that video and leave questions down below, because I'm going to be doing a Q&A in about a month or so. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for more videos that I post. And thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.